Barbara Grungy Christmas Junk Journal is done. In case you don't know, December is your ephemera inspiration in December, put on by Luise Hansel and Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. And I think I got up to paper bag handle and slow stitch before our world got turned upside down. The rest of the prompts, 6, I did off camera. But let's take a flip through. This is made out of a paper bag, and then fabric on the outside and fabric on the inside. On here I've put some dangles, an old key, some beads, and some charms. I did use a few digi pages with digital Christmas pages, and that's what you see. I grunged up, made it really grungy. Here we have our altered playing card with our antique key, which is here. And then I added the tags just for interest, and the tag says trust the process. I use some red inks in here. This is just a little envelope that I had laying in my Christmas bin, and I just stuck it on there. This one, I absolutely loved how this turned out, and this, it is the mini pocket letter and specimen. These are mini playing cards. They come out, and I just decorated each of them. I love this. And then I just used some brads to keep it secured. Then I just had some leftover stuff from my snippet roll, and I just added that. Barbara gave a freebie with cats and dogs on it, and I had this dog left over, so I just loved it, and I just did a collage on this envelope that has nothing in it right now. This was an extra belly band that I made out of the 2 fabrics that I just put there to hold anything I want to add. This one here was woven flower and a snippet roll. My woven flower made out of fabric. I did 2 of them, but this was the one that turned out the best. And then I made a snippet roll of fabrics. Christmas fabrics is underneath here, and turned that into a pocket. This here was our beloved visitor and a journal card. This is Effie from last year. He came for a visit, and then my altered playing card, not altered playing card, journaling card. I used some map because Effie went on a little trip and he was exploring the East Coast. Got his map there and just used some stamps for a little collage. This was just something that went wrong and didn't make it into a video, but I used it and turned it into a pocket. Collaged postcard, number 26. This is my postcard. Got my stamps on it, and it's gone through the mail. It's Santa's Vintage Workshop, and it's the Curiosity Shop. So my Curiosity Shop had vintage things in it, and then this is the back of the postcard. So I thought that was kind of fun. I used transparency and stays on ink, and these are stamps that I had. Goes in there. This was just something I did. I had made a whole bunch of these up previously, and I just decided I wanted one with our Christmas butterflies and add some sparkles and bling. So the circles come out, the smaller circles come out. So that's fun. That's just something I added. Journaling space. Love Love this page. Then we come to this page. We have a flip out an old photo, and this is actually me, one of my early Christmases. My dad had built me this sled, and I actually got him to sign his name, but I didn't want it to be a permanent, so this is actually the original photograph, and I wanted to be able to take it in and out. So that is the pocket and the old photograph. Then we have this one, which is tuck spot and cheese. The tuck spot is in here, and then we have the moldy cheese with my friendly mice. That was fun. Some extra pages. This I just added myself, a belly band with some extra paper, and then just did a little collage at the top. This is part of the prompt, least favorite ephemera and bookbinder's art. My least favorite ephemera is paper doilies. I hate them, to be blunt. And bookbinder's art. Here is one side of them where I made a little cluster. Here's another one. The bookbinder art was interpretive. You could interpret that any way you want. In here I have stitching on book pages, and then I have some of the spine, and I've tucked in different pieces. So the brown piece was part of a spine that I took apart. This was gold. It was part of a spine. I actually have another one in the second signature, and I like how they turned out. So maybe I'll do that again. I don't know. The photo frame and steampunk butterfly. Prompt 24. This is my festive spirit. And her glasses, I don't know if you can see, but her glasses I embossed. And then just made a small frame around it, put some gears on it. This is actually from Barbara's 49 Dragonflies, her shop. She has these steampunk girls in a digi-kit, so I used those. Turned out nice. The apothecary label and quirky cat or dog. Like I said, Barbara gave us a freebie of cat heads and dog heads with party hats and other things. I put a different body, so this was out of a magazine, this guy's body, and oh yeah, and the bow tie was from Barbara. And then these are my labels. And then I had this this fun picture from a magazine that was a Christmas tree of dog bones, and I thought that was very appropriate, so I put more labels around it, and this beautiful glittery poinsettia. And of course he's looking. I think he wants those bones. He's very serious. Altered pocket and texture fragments. This is my altered pocket that from a jean. I altered it. I put in some what is that? Overhead projector stuff, and I used inks to make it more vintage. And then the background is the fragment pieces. It's made out of a canvas, and I stamped on. First I dyed it a vintage color, used tea bags, then I stamped squares on it, and then I sewed all around the squares. And then I just had this laying in my Christmas bin, and so that fits right there. And then I just put a little dangle on that page, and this page is solid. And that's the end of signature 1. Signature 2, this I sealed, and I had all these little hearts, and so it's like a little shaker. Probably too many. Actually, not hot hearts, they're stars. Probably too many, but it's fun. And then I just put a clustered third one, layered tag, so you see the tag shape, and the retro film strip. I have dies of different size film strips, so it's hard to see, but in between the tag are these film strips that I dyed with ink, and then I just put these pictures in the film strips. Then I just did a corner pocket. This was just something I did myself. Added one of my Christmas butterflies. And then I just had, again, stuff that I've had that I got in Happy Mail. Just added that. This one is envelope flip and secret love letter. Here's my envelope. I used bubbles, and then I built this background for the tag and just kind of created a large cluster with the Christmas butterfly. And the secret love letter is inside on this tissue paper. And it's hard to see, but there's writing on it. But it's a secret love letter, so I don't know what it says. It just gets tucked in here. And then I had the flap from the envelope, so just to kind of hide that a little bit, I just did a long cluster on the side. Oh. I just had these stickers, so I just added those. Double tag mechanical garden. Here is my double tag. My mechanical garden is made out of these paper clips, and I dyed them with ink. And I didn't know this until I had them all glued down and everything, that there was actually 12 of them, and so 12 Days of Christmas. And I just love this stamp of this bird. I've sewn all the stems and then sewed around, and it looks like that on the back. And I didn't feel I needed to cover the back, and so the double tag is here. You can do some writing. Again, this one's really hard because the cardstock tag is glued. Again, my girls there. This one I think was the most challenging of all the prompts, and I don't know why it turned out that way, but it was. So this one is paper bag handle and slow stitching. I think it was Louisa that gave us a freebie, and she had made handles, but I made this out of one of the leftover papers from the Digi kit and tried to, I did several things. It was crazy. But eventually I got there, and again I used an original picture, and this was my very first Christmas. Just sits in there. Slow stitch, instead of taking it to my sewing machine, I just took some embroidery thread and stitched around these two paper bag handles that I made. This was just an extra one I had. This is a paper bag, and then some extra writing spot, so it just goes in here. Again, this was part of Happy Mail I got. This one didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out. It's fine. It was the last one. It was mixed media tag and urban graffiti, and I tried several different things. But this is a tag and actually wallpaper that had raised gold lettering. And I was trying to make it graffiti-like and have the inks run a little bit. And then this side is tissue paper with just a little collage. Didn't turn out the way I'd hoped, but it's alright. Then the snippet roll that I made from a previous prompt, I used as a belly band here. And then this prompt, I loved doing this. It was altered book page and blackout poetry. What I did was I have an old Anna Green Gables novel that's falling apart and has been written all over, and so I tore out one of the pages, picked out the words that spoke to me. Oh, that needs to be glued down. And this was the chapter where Anne says her prayers. It goes, to pray, I'd go alone, look up into the sky, and feel a prayer. Simple, sacred, private, and extremely grateful for all the blessings I can think of, so numerous to name them all. Please let, and I covered me to say them, please let them stay. Yours respectfully. Once I had the words, to black out the rest of the words, I took one of my extra pages from the DigiKit and I sliced it so that I could still see a little bit of what the paper was like. So you can see the tree here and the tree here. And I thought this turned out really, really nice. I was going to put something on the back so it wasn't flimsy, but I didn't want to because it's Anna Green Gables and I love Anna Green Gables. So that tucks in behind that belly band. Here is one of those other, my least favorite things to use, paper doily with a little cluster. And this side, and then this one I left as a pocket. And that brings us to the end of my Christmas Grunge Ephemerimber Junk Journal 2024. I hope you got some inspiration and some ideas. It's a chunky one. I think I'm just going to get a piece of ribbon for the closure and just wrap it around a few times. It was a fabulous, fabulous Ephemerimber. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.